No glasses today, but oh well. I wanted to touch up on a subject that a lot of people don't don't touch up on, and that is food addiction. It's a very awkward subject to talk about, and it's a very awkward subject to sometimes watch and hear about, and just in general, a very awkward subject. Basically, it took me a long time to realise to myself and to admit to myself that I had a food addiction. And when realising that I did have a food addiction and admitting to myself that I had a food addiction, it was then that things started to all just kind of click into place. It just hit me and I was like, okay, I do have a food addiction and I need some severe help. And like, most people think that when people talk about food addiction, it's on the aspect of anorexia and stuff, but a lot of people who are big actually have a food addiction but won't admit it to themselves, and that's okay if you don't, because some people will be in denial and some people probably don't have a food addiction and they're big for other reasons. But I admitted to myself that I did have a food addiction, and it was like a weight that was lifted off my shoulders, kind of, because you kind of take something to realise that you do. And yeah, after I had a mayor, I basically ate so much that I ballooned up in the space of a year. I think it was about 4 or 5 stone, which to some people is not a lot, but to other people it is a lot, and it was a lot to me, especially now that in the space of about 3 months I've lost that 5 stone that I gained when I had a mayor, so it is quite crazy. And but it took a while for me to realise that I had a food addiction. I ate like it was coming up my arse, and basically I just ate all the time. And after having a mayor, as I think a lot of parents and new mothers will absolutely totally agree, when you have a new child and a new baby and it's your first time, or it is so tough sometimes that sometimes you don't have the energy after looking after a baby all day to go and cook yourself some food, which is totally true. You sometimes don't have that energy at all. So I found it a lot easier for me to order food nearly every single day than me cook my own food. So yeah, it's one of those things. So it took me a really long time to admit that I had a food addiction, and I know now that I had a food addiction. And before I went for my appointments with the dietitians, I knew that I had the food addiction. So when it came to talking to my dietitian and her asking me, do you think you have a food addiction, my answer straight away was yes, I know I have a food addiction. And she was a bit shocked by that, because apparently a lot of people, even in those appointments, they don't admit that they have it. And I thought, well, I know that I have it, so I'm not going to sit here and lie. She wants the truth about my life. She wants to know why I'm big. She wants to know if I comfort eat. She wants to know all these things. And I just told her, I was like, I do have a food addiction. I know that I have it, and that's why I need the help. But I think one of the things that I need to touch up right now with the gastric bypass, and if you are going for weight loss surgery, is if you've admitted that you've got a food addiction, great, you've admitted it. But one of the things that you need to realise and keep an eye on for after you've had your surgery is to not go the opposite way of food addiction, which is basically not eat. And I say this because I've been an idiot. Like, I have literally been an idiot this past week, because of being ill and because of bad news that I've had. And I've had like 2 lots of bad news, but let's not go into that. I went off the scale a bit, and I basically decided that I wasn't going to eat. And the only way I can explain this is when you've had this operation, one of the things that's going to hit you the most is that you are not hungry all the time like you used to be before having this operation. Before this operation, I would think about food 24/7. I would go to bed and I'd be like, oh my god, what am I going to have for breakfast? And as soon as I'd had breakfast, I'd be already thinking about what I would be having for lunch and what I'd be having for dinner and what I'd be having for the next day. And since having this operation, I don't think about food anymore. I don't get hungry anymore, and that's a weird thing to contemplate when you first had surgery, because you're so used to wanting to eat all the time that when it comes to the point of you not being hungry no more, you just kind of, you know, sometimes it's a bit of a struggle. And like this past week, because I don't get hungry, I can't tell that I'm hungry sometimes. So before, where I was eating all the time because I wanted to eat, now I'm eating because I have to eat, not because I want to eat, because I'm bored. But this past week has just been so tough that I didn't eat properly for about 4 or 5 days, and I didn't drink properly for about 4 or 5 days, and I got severely dehydrated. I'm dehydrated now, but luckily I have a bottle, like a bottle of water next to me, because it just got to a point where I woke up yesterday morning, which is really, really weird, but I woke up yesterday morning and my teeth were hurting, and I know some people are like, what the hell? And I was a bit like that as well. And I was walking down the stairs, and as I was walking down the stairs, every bang that I did on the stairs, every bang was making my teeth really, really hurt. And I don't know if that was because I needed calcium in my body, or because I hadn't eaten and because I hadn't drank properly, and because I've never had that problem before, obviously. So kids were at the butt, and I was like, what are you doing? And I just sat there and I was like, what are you doing, Lou? Like, you need to eat and you need to drink. You can't not eat and drink, and you can't go down the other spiral of the path of going from one food addiction to another. But what I'm trying to say is, it's so easy to go from being one food addict to another food addict and go in the opposite way. Well, you're not meant to be doing that. You're meant to be trying to benefit your life, not make your life worse in the opposite way of what it was. So I made a boo-boo, and some people are probably going to make a boo-boo too, but if you are going for the surgery, you need to make sure that you look after yourself, because it's so easy not to look after yourself. And if you've got kids like I have, you can't afford to not to look after yourself. You really do need to. So yeah, food addiction, it is real, and a lot of people don't talk about it, and I never thought I would talk about it, but I think I kicked myself up the backside so much because I was so scared that I'm going to end up just going the opposite way, and I don't want to go the opposite way. I'm going the opposite way for a good reason. I'm losing weight for a good reason, but taking one food addiction and turn it into another is not. And I think that is one thing that you don't really get told about so much when you have this operation, and a lot of people don't talk about it, because I've seen people who've had this operation really, really suffer. And when I mean really, really suffer, I mean they've become so poorly because of like certain things, and then they have lost drastic amounts of weight. And I've seen a couple of people on a couple of pages that I follow who have passed away because their food addiction did go the wrong way, and it went the opposite way, and they didn't take care of themselves, and then when they tried to take care of themselves, it was too late. And I think realising it in my mind that what I did for these last 4 or 5 days was really, really wrong. To realise it now was better than realising it when it was too late. So it's easily done, and it's just one of those things that you kind of have to kick yourself up the backside and be like, I know I made a boo-boo, because I know I made a boo-boo. So yeah. And I also want to touch up a bit on, I've seen a few people who are getting a bit of abuse, like because they're having this surgery or because they've had this surgery, and their family members or their friends don't understand it. And you're probably not going to watch this, but if you are one of those people that don't agree with weight loss surgery, that's your opinion, to not agree on it. But to voice that opinion so badly as someone that's already had the surgery or is thinking of doing it is not really helping them, because they wouldn't be going for the surgery if they didn't think it was the right choice for them. I had a couple of people, I had a couple of people who didn't agree with my weight loss surgery. A couple of people who were like, you're taking the easy way out, and tried to put me off it. And in the end, I just kind of like had to block them out because I had so many supportive people that were really, really supportive, and the people that I've got now in my life are really supportive still. And but to see people get abused because of taking a life decision that is life changing, it's not on, and it's not fair, and people don't deserve to, you know. People need support because it's not an easy route, and it's not easy at all. You have to change so much before you can have the surgery, and then you have to change so much after the surgery that you need all the support you can get. So yeah, it's just one of those things. But if you're one of these people that are going through this situation of having people that are not supportive of you, pop me a message, because I will boost your confidence up that you are making the right choice. I had my doubts that I wasn't making the right choice, and then after the surgery I had my doubts again that I wasn't making the right choice. But you know what? To watch Amaya be so happy because I can sit on the floor with her and play, and I can now walk 2 miles a day constantly without stopping, that is worth it to me, because at one point I couldn't walk up to my local shop, and now I can walk. I can literally walk, and I love it, and I flipping love it, and it was the best choice for me. So if you are going through that situation, and if you are going through the possible food addiction situation, pop me a message. I will talk to you. We can be friends, and we can support each other, because I think a lot of people in this community of weight loss surgery need people who are going to support them. And the more people that support you, especially people that have gone through it already, the better, because we're like a big family, and that's what we are. So let's have a hug. Yay! Have a hug. But yes, thank you for watching. It was a bit of a random video, but thank you very much for watching. Press the like button, subscribe button, all of that jazz, and I shall see you soon. Oh, by the way, I lost 5 pounds this week, which I'm really happy with, because that puts me down 70 pounds, and that puts me down 5 stone, and oh, I just love this operation already. That was a really weird noise, but I love this operation already. So yeah, see you later guys, bye!